Hey, welcome in. It's Lauren. Long time no talk. I really wanted to create a video and kind of just be casual with you all. I've got my cup of coffee. So welcome in to the channeled messages from Oracle of the Rose. I'm Lauren. I'm so glad that you're here, especially if you are returning. If you're brand new, thank you for joining me. I seek to bring forward more information about how you can connect with your own divine aspect of self and really navigate energetically, grow your energetic consciousness, grow your awareness, but work with your energy in a way that really is supporting you through the changing times that we're going through. They're really intense. So to that end, hello, how are you doing? What's new in your world? I've had a lot of channeled messages coming in and I haven't gotten on and spoken in a while. And I just wanted to touch base and kind of tell you, give you some updates, tell you what's going on, but also just share with you a few messages that have come through. So the first update is I have created another channel as well, and hopefully you will go and find me and follow me there also. I am also Lauren the Mystic, and that is because, guess what? I finally finished my certification with Hellenistic astrology, and I'm super excited to be offering readings now as well as readings for the collective with tarot and oracle readings. And our group here, those who identify with the Sisterhood of the Rose and the Rose lineage of light, it's so niche. And, you know, I sort of got off to the wrong foot in that I put a lot of effort into building this very expensive platform that I really couldn't sustain. And so part of my journey and my absence has been to reroute myself and find a way to create. So working with your light that I started in the springtime, early summer, it's still available. And I am, instead of doing it as an entire package, I am going to create it so that it's already half up, where you can just receive the individual meditations yourself and choose to work with them if you'd like. But what they are is activations, and it's really, so this is leading me into the channels. So what the Marys have been talking about, and so also some of my very first channels were from my Galactic Council, they called themselves, or the Divine Council, Galactic Council of Light. And they were who initially brought the Marys to me when I was ready. And they've come back in as well. And what they're talking about is it's sort of like they're synthesizing a lot of the information that I first spoke of in some of my first videos that I put on the channel about how many of us who are called to work with our light, we're being called forward. We're being asked to step up as light workers, as starseeds, as healers, as empaths, to really create from this higher vibratory space. And so take all of this, however it resonates for you. None of it is fact. It's all intuitive channeled messages that I just mean to share with you, to empower you, to give you food for thought, to give you something to consider. And if you've also gotten these messages, to act as a confirmation to your own insight that's coming through. Because here's another thing really cool I've noticed. A lot of us are suddenly getting all the same messages and we're all speaking on them. And it's so interesting to me to see this happening all at once as this influx of light has been coming onto the planet after really started in the eclipse season last spring, but it very much intensified here in the fall. And what it's felt like is this splitting of timelines. And it's felt like there has been this opening up of territory where many of us, and, excuse me also for some of the limited speech I'm going to use because it's for lack of better words, right? And it sounds a little hierarchical. I don't really mean it that way. I'm just trying to use it as a descriptor when I say for those of us who have been doing this work for a while, not to place us in a better than position, but to just simply say, those of us who have been on the path, we know that this is our calling, right? We know that this is part of our purpose here. There's been this alchemy taking place for many of us where all of a sudden, right around the beginning eclipse, it was around the Pisces lunar eclipse, just in between, actually. It was in between the Virgo new moon, which preceded eclipse season, and it led us right into that Pisces lunar eclipse. And in that time frame, so this is August into September, in that time frame, what felt like was happening is that there was a real clearing of karmic contracts, of soul contracts, of contracts that you may have made as an individual before you incarnated to uphold certain relationships or to show up in certain relationships and in certain capacities within those relationships. And that likely has created a sense of difficulty and hardship on your part because you were showing up to help bring the healing within those spaces, and that work is done now. That work is done now for a lot of us because we're now moving into this new experience of life, experience of our work, of the expression of our work, and we needed to clear space to do that. What I've been shown is that we're receiving this huge influx of light, which is going to be really, we're like integrating at this moment. And so it's going to be really, really elevating even further, more than it's already started, to activate and elevate our psychic gifts even further. This is really taking the vibration up quite a few notches. And in order to do that, we have needed to clear space. And what they were saying is sort of like this tidying up energy. So what I was shown and what it really felt like to me was this jumping in and jumping out of various timelines in your life. And so for the past month and a half or so, maybe 2 or 3, you might have been feeling like you are going in and out of past timelines, of past aspects of self, maybe doing a little bit of inner child clearing over here, maybe some intimate partner relationship clearing over here, maybe working on some family wounding over here that has then impacted X, Y, or Z, right? So there's been this sort of like movement energetically, like we're weaving and jumping in and out of different spaces in order to clear and wrap things up and extrapolate out any of the remaining, just tying that lesson all the way up into a catalyzed awareness of where do we stand now with this subject? What is true for us now in regards to everything that we've gone through? And it feels like a huge clearing in that final purge. And no doubt that this is connected into Pluto's final movements in Capricorn, right? We're right there. The last time that this is going to happen for our lifetime. And this is cleaning up and finalizing a chapter of our life that has been under a deep sense of transformation since 2008. And that's just coming to its conclusion, right? It's going to be, Pluto will be stationing direct and moving into Aquarius on November 19th. So it's right down the pike, just tied into and following the next full moon. But there's been a huge heaviness and it's been confusing. There's been a lack of clarity happening, I think, within our own psyches because we are trying to make sense of like, why is all of this coming up now for such deep shadow work? And why does it feel like I'm going in and out and tidying here and wrapping things up there and coming to this deep realization over here. And it's been sort of this assessment that feels as if it's a preparation for the next version of self and a real clearing. So to that note, if there's anything that you haven't already consciously put your mind to that you know is not traveling with you forward, or you know you have still some loose ends to tidy up, this is your encouragement to do that tidying, because I believe that we are shifting incredibly. And then the next channels that I received were almost religious. This energy that's coming in so high is the frequency of Christ consciousness. And so when I was channeling in the Marys and calling in clarity, asking my angels and my guides in my own process, what the hell is going on, right? I had something amazing happen to me that's never occurred to date. Jesus came in as a channel and showed me immediately the sign of the cross, but in light, and showed me that that cross, the sign of the cross, is actually an energetic symbol that many of us don't realize is an energetic symbol. But the message was that we are meant to be connecting through our heart space, which is that crossing center point. We're connecting in and drawing in through our heart space the vibratory frequency of Christ consciousness energy, beginning with the frequency of compassion. Tuning into the compassionate love that we carry within our heart opens us up into that full expression of Christ consciousness frequency, which contains radical acceptance, love, forgiveness, unity consciousness, and this knowing of oneness with this elevated capacity of love. And not only of love for oneself, but of love for the all, for everyone, for your neighbor, for the strangers down the street, for people who you don't know on the other side of the planet, for our enemies even, for those who have done wrong to us. It's truly embodying and holding the frequency of that Christ-centered love, that Christ consciousness. And then I was shown that the sign of the cross is symbolic, in that the upper part of the cross, which you can't see my hand, I'm up here, the upper part of the cross, it sits at the location of the soul star chakra, where we begin to tune in to our divine aspect and our divine connection. And the lower part of the cross sits at the location of our earth star chakra, connecting us into the Divine Mother. So here we have the sign of the cross directing our energy, saying, enter in through the heart. It crosses the physical plane through our heart center, enters into our body through the heart center, and directs our channel, our connections, to the Divine Father, to the universal consciousness of divine Christ consciousness and love, and connecting us into the energies of the Divine Mother, Mother Nature, of our planet, and allowing ourselves, knowing that we ourselves then become that radiant channel of energy, that when we are tuning into our heart frequency from that space of connecting into compassion, connecting into the frequency of Christ consciousness, and then opening up our connections that are ever present, that we only ever have to tune into, but they're always there, calling in that channel of energy that connects here in the space of the heart. And what it's doing is it's creating that heart trinity, the trinity of love. And that it's from this space of beingness that we really can tune and tap into our own divine energetic blueprint, is what I heard in my mind's eye during this channel, is that this then tunes us into, and this is going to get advanced and blow your mind potentially, it tunes us into the advanced sacred geometry going on behind the energetics of what we're actually doing. Tunes us into creating this divine template, which forms within the heart space and begins to then move in and throughout our field, creating a template of not only protection, but of placing you into your highest vibratory capacity and frequency. You're holding that pure, harmonious light within yourself on all levels of your being without discord. When you sit in this space and you just breathe and allow it to become you, when you commune with this energy, what it does is it creates this entire protective field that then holds you in such divine protection. And here's the important piece that I heard. It was sort of like a spirit telling me to read between the lines. It connects us with such divine protection that nothing can penetrate that protection. Anything of a lower vibratory frequency cannot penetrate that protection when we have it placed around ourselves. And I'm going to create a specific meditation for us to work with for this purpose, because right now it literally feels as if, even if you are one of the most highly skilled energy workers that there is, it feels like the dark energetic forces that are just out and circulating in mass lately are able to penetrate unless we consciously have our own energetic protective barrier up and in place and grounded into our field. And from my personal experience recently, it's taken quite a bit to get back into a state where it feels like I am within my energetic protective bubble and then I'm staying there. Because I went a few days just going through some of my own shadow work journey, and some of, life happens, right? So there was some family hardship that was occurring. There were things that were really hitting my marriage that were creating some disharmony and discord, and this feeling of an unsettled foundation. And when you're in that space of going through something difficult, it's really hard to always feel completely motivated to doing your practices. And what the reminder from Spirit is just how essential our energetic routine is to our overall health. And that routine is very protective and nurturing in nature. And it was an encouragement to basically get back into doing a very consistent daily ritual and practice for self to intentionally be clearing and cleansing your energy. And it does sort of feel like Spirit's beating a dead horse with the need to protect our energy and clear our field. But what I'm understanding is that we're moving through this period of time that is like spiritual warfare. And it's as if someone is, or something is interested in infiltrating our energy and taking us out of our power. And that's the reason why it's become so difficult and why it's required so much conscious effort to continue to work with that frequency. But that frequency is always available to us within our grasp and within our conscious intention anytime we need. However, it just may take us a moment to reacclimate ourselves back into that frequency and fully feel like it's embodied and grounded back into ourself and our field, etc., But it's achievable. It just might take a little bit more oomph than normal, especially if you, like myself, had gotten a little bit off practice for even just a very short period of time. It wasn't very long, but I really noticed that it took a lot more conscious effort to get there. However, once I was able to get there, that's when I got all these channels like boom, boom, boom. They were just waiting, to fly in. And there was a new method that I can't wait to show you. It's felt and it's within a meditation. And I can't wait to create it for you, because since I've been working with this, which has only been for a week at this point, as I record this video, it's been about a week, came in right around that new moon in Scorpio. That's when this channel came through. And since I have been working with this level of protective energy and working with the sacred geometry images that I'm going to introduce in the meditation, it has created the strongest, most impenetrable field that I have worked with to date. So it feels like it is advanced energetic healing technology that is coming through as a way to protect ourselves and guide ourselves through these trying times that we're moving through. And I just really encourage you to feel into your life right now. Feel into any ways, whether it's your own psyche, whether it's within relationships, whether it's within projects that are very important to you, to feel into what energies have felt like they have sort of had this off-centering, penetrative effect that has caused you to feel unsettled. Because I think what we're being asked to do is really work with our energetic mastery further and further. And we must hold ourselves in this protective space right now as all this integration is coming through, and really hold ourselves in a place of nourishing, even though that's difficult when there's so much stress going on the world stage. It's hard not to feel like that's something extra right now. But I am getting these messages just driving home the point of how essential it is. So I hope that message encourages you to remember how essential you are, how essential it is that you care for yourself and for your energy. And I'm excited to be creating some more content. It was a bit turbulent there for a while. I'm sorry, I've been missing you all. Had a lot coming through, but a lot of light coming in and a lot of integrating going on. And for a while, it was like felt like I was riding a roller coaster myself. So I just needed to take that step back and really focus on kind of finding my grounding again. But I do feel like I found it. And in the meantime, I've been working on a way to actually keep this content going, because I do need to, monetize what it is I'm doing, so that I can continue to do this for a living, because that is my purpose, it's my passion, and it's what I know I'm here to do. So we're all just figuring it out. I appreciate in advance any likes, any comments. I would love to hear what's going on for you and what kind of content you really feel would be helpful at this moment for your journey, because I'd be happy to use that and generate inspiration from it to hopefully bring some more support. And I'm going to post links below for a place that you can support me if you feel so called, so I can continue to bring forward this work, but also places where you can find some of those Working Your Light meditations. It's going to be on a new website for Lauren the Mystic. However, I also am going to be doing some readings, creating that meditation that I was just mentioning that I can't wait to create. And that's really like advanced, I don't know, I'm feeling called to do like some kind of advanced energy healing practice, but I'm just not sure. Actually, let me know. Are you interested? Let me know. Because if there's enough people, maybe I will create a private class and we will just start working on some advanced techniques. But I think that's what Spirit's calling us to do. Really level it up. All right, babes. I'll see you later. Take care and thanks for joining me.